Hi, I'm Michelle Bowen. Welcome to my kitchen here in beautiful Easley, South Carolina. Today I'm going to be creating an appetizer for you. I'm going to be making sweet and spicy fried macaroni and cheese balls. I'm going to be using a deep fryer to get all these going at the very end. We'll make an actual dish of macaroni and cheese, but it's going to be a sweet macaroni and cheese. We're going to use our small macaroni noodles, and the reason you want to use them so small is so that they're more pliable. Philadelphia cream cheese and sweetened condensed milk is going to give it something that you would never expect. The spicy will come from cayenne pepper. It's going to give it just enough to take that sweet twist off and give you the best appetizer you've ever had. It's going to be the secret when you serve it to your friends. Let's get started. Okay, let's go ahead and get our macaroni into our boiling water. Before you get your water to boiling, you're going to want to add some salt. I like to use sea salt. It seems to dissolve better and give it a lot more flavor. Water is not seasoned, so when you season the water, you're not going to have to worry about what you do with your pasta. Once your water gets to a boil, you want to add your noodles and let them cook for 9 to 11 minutes. That's when they'll become al dente and they'll be ready. Now we're going to make a roux while our water is boiling with our pasta in it. While our pasta is cooking, we're going to make a roux. A roux is basically a base for soups and stews. It's going to thicken this up. It's the secret to how we get these macaroni and cheese balls to form. We're going to add 4 tablespoons of sweetened condensed milk and 2 tablespoons of flour. And what you're going to do is just whisk that together, and it's going to form a really good roux. Let me let this get hot for just a second. Melt that milk down just a little bit, and now we're going to add 2 tablespoons of flour and whisk this together. And what you'll see is as the heat gets higher and higher, your roux is going to get thicker and thicker. And you're not going to have this roux right away. You can let it sit once you form it, and when your macaroni noodles are completely cooked and al dente, then you'll add the roux at that point. Our noodles have finished boiling and they're al dente, so we're just going to strain them, and then we're going to return them right back into the same pot because we want to hold on to the heat that's in that pot. Just add them right back in, and now we're going to add our secret ingredients. Ingredient number 1, this is 4 ounces of Philadelphia brand cream cheese, which is a half of a bar. I have it broken up into little pieces just because it will melt a lot better in the hot macaroni and cheese noodles. So we're just going to put all of these in here and allow them to start melting. And as they melt, they're going to start mixing in with those macaroni noodles. And then we're going to add the rest of the can of the sweetened condensed milk that we had. We used 4 tablespoons of that for the roux that we had earlier, and we're just going to add the rest of that can into here. And we're going to stir it until our cream cheese melts. And now it's time to add the roux. We're ready to add the roux. It doesn't matter that this roux is already hardened. You'll see how thick it's gotten. That's okay that it's that way because we're going to be adding it into a hot dish. So I'm going to take the roux out of this pot and add it over to our macaroni and cheese dish. And we're just going to stir it in. And as it starts to dissolve, it's going to work just like it would in a gravy or with broth. It's going to start thickening up our entire dish. Okay, now that we've got this thickened to the consistency that we want, not too thick, it's not a big deal if it's still a little runny because you're going to bake this. And that roux is going to thicken it even more. You'll see when we take it out of the oven. We're going to put this in a small casserole dish. You don't want to use a large casserole dish because you're trying to get this to cook in a minimal amount of time, and it really doesn't take that much to make a good 20 to 25 macaroni and cheese balls. We're going to put this in the oven on 350 for about 15 minutes, and when it comes out, we'll show our secret step to this whole recipe. Now we're ready to take our macaroni and cheese out of the oven and bring it over to the counter, where we're going to use our secret on how to form these and make them stay and get cold really quick. First thing you want to do is just stir it up a little bit, and what you see here is kind of where the roux has thickened everything so well. This is exactly how you want it to look. Just stir it up a little bit, and then you're going to take 2 spoons. Take one to pick it up with and the other to shape it into an ice cube tray. What's going to happen is you're going to put these in the freezer for just 15 minutes. You don't need to go any longer than that. You don't actually want them to freeze, but what they're going to do is get really thick and congealed so that you can form the shape of your macaroni and cheese balls. Okay, we have our ice cream tray full, and now we're going to stick it into the freezer for 15 minutes. And when it's done, we'll pull it out, form our balls, and fry them up. Now that our macaroni and cheese has set and congealed inside of our ice trays, we're going to pull them out and form our balls. The first thing we want to do is add our cayenne pepper to our flour. I'm going to add this in, and I want you to see it's such a small amount because this is 1 cup of flour to 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. And if you look in here really closely, you're going to see the little, just tiny red specks of cayenne in there. That shows you just the little amount that it takes to kind of counter all of the sweetness that's going to be in your macaroni and cheese balls. And all you're going to do now is just stick your fingers down in there, get your hands a little dirty. Watch how this congeals. We're just sticking it together. See how it forms a ball so easily. Roll it up just a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I'm going to dip it into my sweetened condensed milk, and then I'm going to dip it into the flour, and then we're going to add it to our deep frying basket. I want to let you know that I have a philosophy in my kitchen, and that is if you have a clean kitchen, you're one of 2 things. You're either retired or you're a bad cook. So when you see me make a mess with all this, that's because I enjoy cooking and I'm not worried about how my kitchen looks. I'm worried about how my food tastes. Let me make just a couple more of these, and then we'll get them on to fry so you can see how they set up. Again, another key that you could do with this milk is that you could melt it by sticking it in the microwave and just make it a little bit warmer. That way it's not as thick on the outside of your macaroni and cheese balls. Now I've got 3 of these made and packed in really good. I'm going to take the lid off of my deep fryer and stick them in there. We're going to let them sit in there on 350 for 5 to 7 minutes. You're going to watch them rise up to the top. And when they come to the top, look for the brownness that you prefer. I prefer mine light to medium brown. The noodles are going to be completely cooked at this point and you'll be done. So let's just watch this. Okay, let's look at these. They're just beginning to rise. They have a perfect brown coating to them. You're looking for them to just look brown all over, and these are doing it, so I'm going to go ahead and pull them out. I'm going to set them on this paper towel because I want a lot of the oil to drain. You can cook these in canola oil, you can cook these in peanut oil. Peanut oil is probably going to be the best for the flavor, but canola oil also works really good. I don't really like to use vegetable oil, it seems a little bit tart to me. I always unplug my deep fryer when I'm done. It just saves me from burning somebody later. Immediately after you pull them out, this is the key to taking away that super sweetness. You want to salt these up really good. All over, just turn them over. Now I'm going to put these over here on the plate so you can see just how good they are. They're perfect. They have the perfect brown coat that you're looking for. See how the balls stay together? There's not even an open spot on them. These are going to be great to serve as an appetizer. You could serve them with sour cream if you want to. You could serve them with lots of things. And I'm going to take a bite really quick to see if these turned out like we want them to. That's perfect. It's really warm and chewy on the inside. The flavor meshes perfectly together. The salt changes everything when you add that at the end. I hope that you enjoy these. I hope that you will try this at home. I don't think I've ever tasted an appetizer that I've made at home that's worked out this well. So enjoy, and thank you for watching my video.